Hey guys, it's Stacy. I am in such a Halloween mood this week. It's one of my favorite holidays. I know I've said that before, but anyway, I want to do the spooky Halloween tag. It's a little bit different from the old Halloween tag. This one, I believe, is from this year. There's a lot of questions to it, so I'm just going to go ahead and get into it. Number one, favorite Halloween or horror themed song, and I think mine is Werewolf in London. I saw Werewolf in London when I lived in England, and there was a scene in the movie where they're in the underground and the werewolf is chasing them, and every time I went to the underground after that I was utterly terrified, and so that song just brings back the memories of that, and I like that song. Number two is something you wouldn't want to run into in a dark forest or abandoned house. I'm going to say a serial killer, of course. Three, have you ever played with a Ouija board? I don't think so. It's possible I did when I was a kid, but I don't remember it. Four is your favorite monster or villain, and I'm going with Dracula, the Bram Stoker version. I absolutely adore him. Number five is creepiest thing that's ever happened to you when you were alone. And for this one, I have a real live ghost story. Something that seriously did happen to me. I had never believed in ghosts in all my life until that moment, and ever since then I am a believer that there's something out there of some sort. I was about 20, 21-ish, and I had just moved back home with my dad. I had moved out when I was 18, and then I moved back home for a while, and my dad was dating this woman who lived there also, and she was a drug addict, and she was a horrible, terrible, mean person, and we did not like each other at all. She really hated that I moved back in with my dad, and I, of course, hated that she was a drug addict in my dad's house. So, anyway, she ended up having an overdose and died in my living room. So she died in the house. So, a few months later, I was sleeping in, and I felt something sit on my bed. You know when you're like laying in the bed and someone sits on the other end or sits at the bottom of the bed and the bed sinks down and you can feel the bed sinking down? I felt that. I felt like someone had come into my room and sat on my bed. And so I opened my eyes and I looked, expecting maybe my dad came in or something, which would have been weird, but no one was there. No one was there. So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, that's really weird. Maybe you just imagined it. And I kind of just laid back down and closed my eyes. And then I felt whatever it was get up off the bed. So the bed went down, and then the bed went back up again. And of course, like, I look around and there's nothing there. There's nothing in my room. And I feel like it was my dad's girlfriend. I always felt like it was her, and she came and sat on my bed for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know if she had ill intent or if she was sorry or what, but I feel like it was her. There was nothing else that should have caused my bed to go up and down like that. So yeah, that's the creepiest thing that's happened to me when I was alone. Alright, number six is, if you were dared to spend a night in a haunted house, would you do it? And I think I would do it if I wasn't alone. If I had someone with me, at least one other person with me, I think I'd be alright. I think that would be kind of neat. Seven is, are you superstitious? Maybe, yeah, a little bit with certain things. Yes, I am. When I think about it, yes, I am. Eight is, do you ever see figures in your peripheral vision? And yes, I do. I see people a lot. And not even in my peripheral vision, I will straight up see people. Especially in my house now, the house that we live in now, I see it quite often. I'll, get a sense that someone came into the hallway or something, and I'll like look into the hallway and I'll see, for a split second, I'll see a person standing there, and I feel like I get kind of shocked that they're standing there, and then they get kind of shocked that I can see them or that they are seeing me, and then it's gone. And I have a really hard time describing them, but I normally can say, yes, it was a man, or it was a kid, or it was a woman. I can see them long enough to get a sense of, what kind of person they were, but I really can't remember like what they were wearing and really describe them in detail. And I live in a newer house. I don't live in, a 100-year-old house. I don't know why there would be people here or ghosts of any kind. I don't believe my house is built on top of a cemetery or anything like that. So I don't know what it is. If anybody has that kind of experience, let me know down below, because that would be really interesting. 9 is which urban legend scares you the most, and I think it's, and I don't know if this is a real urban legend, but the idea of someone being in my car. I always feel like when I go to get in my car, in day or night, whenever, I always check the back seat to make sure there's nobody sitting there. It just freaks me out, the idea that I could be driving down the road and someone's sitting in my back seat and like pops out at me or something. So yeah, I think that one is it. Number 10 is, do you prefer gore or thrillers? I don't know. It depends on what kind of gore. If it's like werewolf gore, kind of like scary monster type stuff, then I'm fine with it. It doesn't scare me because I know it's not real. But if it's like serial killer who tortured their victims kind of gore, that I don't like at all. I don't like stuff that could be real. Number 11 is, do you believe in multiple dimensions or worlds? Yes, I do. That goes along with me seeing people. I kind of wonder if maybe there's, I know this sounds ridiculous. I kind of wonder though if there's some like I'm seeing people in another dimension and there's like a thin veil between like our world and their world, and for whatever reason sometimes it gets thin enough to where we can see through it, because I always feel like when we see each other we're both kind of shocked that we can see each other. So yeah, I do. Number 12 is, ever made a potion of any sort? And kind of, but not like a potion, but it was for fun. I had a bunch of spices in the cabinet that were going bad and expiring, and so when the kids were little, I had like a big pot and boiled water, and then I had them all throwing the spices in the pot and stirring it up, making a pretend potion to get rid of the spices. So yes and no. 13 is, do you get scared easily? Again, yes and no. I get really scared of real world things that can happen. I'm utterly terrified of being in the car. I have like an irrational fear anytime I'm in the car. I always imagine I'm going to get in a car wreck and die. So I'm terrified every time I'm in the car, and it takes a lot for me to kind of like breathe through it and, you know, get to wherever I'm going and not have a panic attack. But again, like scary movies with like Freddy Krueger or, you know, werewolves or vampires or anything like that, that doesn't scare me at all. 15 is, have you ever played Bloody Mary? And yes, I have when I was a kid, and I'm still scared of it today. I won't do it now. I wouldn't go into the bathroom with the light out and shut the door. I would probably jump out of my skin. I would be really scared. Do you believe in demons / the devil? Yes, I do. I'm not scared of the devil though. I don't think the devil can get me, so I'm not scared of demons or the devil. I'm more scared of people. Number 16, if you hear footsteps in your house and you're home alone, what do? I pull out my gun and I go looking. I have a gun that I carry, and I have lots of weapons throughout the house, so if you were a person in my house, you should be more scared than I should. Just saying. Number 17 is, if you got trapped in one scary movie, what would you choose? And I think I would pick a movie with vampires of some sort, because I think it would be cool to be a vampire. I would be that person going, make me a vampire, just because I don't want to die and I want to live forever. So yeah, it'd be something with a vampire, I don't know. 18, would you ever go to a graveyard at night? Yes, I would. Not scared of graveyards at all. I actually like them. I feel like they're really peaceful places to be and safe places to be for whatever reason. I've always wanted to have a house that was near a graveyard because I felt like it just was safe. I don't know why, but I like them, so yeah, I could spend the night in one. Next one is, in a zombie apocalypse, what would be your weapon of choice? And I think mine would be our deuce and a half truck. I've shown it in, I don't know, 1 or 2 of the vlogs. Maybe I can insert a picture. But it's a big, giant army truck, and I feel like I could just get in the truck and drive and just ball people over. I could just knock out so many zombies. It would be like bowling and knocking down pins. So I'd be pretty safe in that truck. Would you rather go to a Halloween party or trick-or-treating? And this one is easy because we have a huge Halloween party at my house every year, and we go trick-or-treating. So all of my friends and their kids come over, and all the moms fill up their cups with like spiked apple cider or whatever drink of their choice, and we pretty much get drunk and walk throughout the neighborhood with the kids while they're trick-or-treating, and then come back to my house and party for the rest of the night. So I do both. Now look at this one because it's a long one. If you're in a horror movie, are you the final girl, the first to die, the comic relief, the skeptic, the smart one, or the killer? And I think I would be the smart one. I'm really practical, and yeah, I think I will be the smart one. So, do you have to watch something happy after watching a horror movie to be able to go to sleep? No, I don't think so. I choose my movies wisely. I don't watch movies that I know are going to terrify me. So I'm pretty safe with the stuff that I watch. While watching scary movies, are you the person who yells at the character, the person with their eyes covered the whole time, or the person who falls asleep? And I think I'm the person who yells at the characters. My husband and I just watched Evil Dead 2 recently. And if you haven't seen that movie, you have to see that movie. It's so awesome in ways I can't even describe. It's the weirdest movie ever made, but it's freaking amazing. But I was laughing through the whole thing and yelling at the people, like all of the people on the screen, and that was a fun movie to watch. Are you the one that gets scared, or are you the one that does the scaring? A little bit of both. We're getting ready to go to King's Dominion, the Halloween haunt thing, and I've seen bits of it on the internet, and I know I'm going to be really, really scared while I'm there. But I like being scared like that, because again, I know that it's not real. And if I had all the money in the world, my house would look like the Spirit Halloween store. I would have all the scary, creepy, crazy Halloween decorations to scare the kids out here, and I love scaring Gabe. Gabe is so fun to scare because he acts like nothing scares him. He'll walk around all big and bad like, yeah, this doesn't scare me, and I'm fine, and whatever, and you can't get me. I can't wait to take him to King's Dominion because I know he will be scared there. Maybe I'm a mean mom, but I don't care. It's fun. Next one is favorite scary book. And I don't know if this is my favorite book or not, but it's definitely the scariest book I've ever read. I think it's called The Red Dragon, and I believe it's the sequel or the prequel, something with The Silence of the Lambs. It's written by the same guy who writes The Silence of the Lambs, and I read that book and it scared the bejesus out of me. That was one book where I could not fall asleep at night after reading it. That one was terrifying. How old was I when I saw my first scary movie or horror movie? I believe I was 11. I was spending the night at my friend's house, and her mom left us to go to the bar, and I knew she wasn't going to be home for a really long time, and my friend put on Pet Sematary, which was a really bad idea because my friend watched it, fell right to sleep, no problems, and I was up all night long. What was your first Halloween costume? I believe I was a witch. I remember seeing pictures of me when I was 3 or 4 wearing a witch costume, so I think it was a witch. What are you going to be for Halloween this year? I'm going to be Poison Ivy from Batman. My whole family is going to be Batman villains, which is awesome because we've never been matching before, had like matching costumes before, so I'm really excited about this year. And the last question is trick or treat. And I think I'm going to go with treat because I love all the candy. I'm going to be stealing from the children this year. We do a candy tax, so we get to go through and pick all the candy that we want and give them the leftovers. And I have some really good alcoholic drinks that I'm going to be making for Halloween, so I'm going to go with treat this year. And that's what I've got for this tag. If anybody wants to do the tag, feel free to do it. It's really fun for Halloween. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.